One more performer. Give it up for Brad Hutchings. Make some noise for Brad Hutchings. Guys, about 16 years ago this week, I'm driving back to work from lunch with a very beautiful coworker, and she looks at me and she says, "Brad, you need a dog." And literally, instead of going straight back to work, I turned left. That's for you. And we went to the Mission Viejo Animal Shelter. And I met this cool little dog. His name was Bosco. Now let me back up a minute because, she said you need a dog. I turned left. If she said, "Brad, you need a tattoo of Mark Gastineau on the left inside of your thigh," right? We would have turned right to the tattoo parlor. And if she said, "Brad, I like your new Mustang GT. I know you've only had it for, about 2 months. Beautiful car and everything, but you need a minivan," right? I'd have U-turned and gone to the Dodge dealer. Right, so we go to the Mission Viejo Animal Shelter. I meet this little puppy. He's 12 weeks old. His name is Bosco. And a week later, I'm able to take him home. A few weeks later, this little puppy, he was 18 pounds when I got him. He'd grown quite a bit. He'd outgrown his bed. I went to PetSmart. I bought him a new bed. I come home. I put the new bed in the living room for him. He immediately jumps up on it and snuggles in and goes to sleep. I'm like, "Oh, this is perfect." So I go in the kitchen and I make myself a protein shake. And it's hard to believe I used to actually be skinny, athletic, muscular, drink a lot of protein shakes. And I'm making this shake and I hear this rustling. I'm like, "What is that?" So I walk in the living room and Bosco is full on humping. He's propped up this bed and he's full on humping this bed. I'm like, "Bosco." And he stops and he looks at me. And then he lets go of the bed and he falls over on his side. I'm like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And I walk over and I look between his legs and he's, I think the word for it is erect. Yeah. And I look over and yes, he's erect and it looks like he's got a red femur with the end of it cut off, dangling between his crotch as if attached by bubble gum. And I'm looking at this situation, I'm thinking, I don't know how this gets back in there. So I do what anybody would do. I call my elderly neighbors across the street. And I call her on the phone, I go, "Shirley, we got a problem here." Shirley and Irv had a racing greyhound who was a male. I figure, okay, well, they've seen this, right? This happens to every male dog owner. I call Shirley on the phone. I go, "Shirley, we got a problem here. Bosco was humping his bed," and she says, "Just bring him downstairs." So, living room is second floor. Bottom floor is the garage. I pick Bosco up by his shoulders. I'm holding him like this. His left leg is here, his right leg is here, and then there's this thing that looks like a red femur dangling as if attached by bubble gum from the center of his crotch. And I carry him down the stairs. And I open the door, and Shirley is there at the door. She's come through my garage. She's there at the door. She looks at it. She says, "Oh my God, you've got to take him to the vet." And I tell Irv, "Get in the car." So Irv gets in the Mustang, and I put Bosco, I lay him down on his side on the back seat. And we drive as fast as we can to the 24-hour vet, which happens to be right next to where I adopted him from, Mission Viejo Animal Shelter. And we get there, and I pick Bosco up, and I'm carrying him on his side like this. And I carry him into the room, or into the office, and the vet is there to greet us. You can see something's obviously wrong. And I lift up his leg, and I say, "I think it's gone away. Everything's okay here." So I explained to the vet what happened, and he's like, "Well, you gotta, dogs can do that. They can get, excited with the bed, and you gotta be careful with that. They can hurt themselves." And then, as he's telling me this, and we're about to leave, in walks this guy, carrying a Labradoodle, about like this, left leg like this, right leg like this, and this thing that looks like a red cut-off femur dangling as if attached by bubble gum right between his crotch. And I look at him, I go, "It was like that." And the vet thought that was just hilarious because he'll see 1 or 2 of those in a year, never 2 in a night. Never 2 in a night. So that's my story of Bosco. This happened in, way back in 2001. A year ago I had to put him down. This is him just 10 minutes before, well, about an hour before I had to have him put down. He's a happy dog. He's in my truck. He's happen to be going places. Ted's going to come up here and he's going to ask you to applaud for your favorite comic tonight. You can applaud for a man who told you a heartfelt story about his dog. Or you can applaud... or you can applaud for somebody who told you a dick joke. So, Ted, thank you so much for the time. Harp, thank you. Audience, thank you. It's been great.
Give it up for Brad Hutchings. Make some noise for him. Did you guys have a good time? All right. Not to bring anybody down, guys, but my grandmother just died. And her husband. And my dad, he's dead too. And their dog, he fell on the dog as he had a heart attack. And the dog died. And the dog was just sitting there, and then it just lashed out and killed a kitten. You know what I mean? I had just sheer terror, didn't know what was happening. I thought the kid was the kitten's fault. And then a baby saw that, and the baby ran in the street, got run over by another kid. It was getting towed by his dad in a go-kart, and then the guy shot himself because... But anyway, I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I got this really great dick joke that I'm going to tell you guys. It's on my grandmother's and my grandfather's tombstone. It says, "Still hard." No, I'm just kidding. It's terrible. It's gross.